So for me, this word is about what it conjures up is the idea of I'm just going to get really basic here. It's like a leader, but also an oracle, like someone who has a vision that they are sharing. And then I also think of Cassandra, because I honestly can't think of this without, again, the flip side of the coin, which is the not being believed when you are the prophet who is sharing truth with those around
Yes.
you.
Welcome to Neurospicy Dialogues. Today's word is profit, not like money profit, but profit like a person, that a profit. I'm Cara Jean,
I am Kimberly.
and here we go. Okay, say more. Share about more about Cassandra.
Okay. Oh
Cassandra.
my God. I love Cassandra. I have been trying to find like I would love to do a story, like a script that where she's my protagonist. But I think it would frustrate me so much. But Cassandra, however it's supposed to be pronounced, she ancient Greek mythology, I want to say. I get the mythologies kind of Roman and Greek mythologies kind of blend because I studied Latin and ancient Greek at the same time. So sometimes they kind of
That'd be
blend in
messy.
my head.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, but I want to say Greek. Anyway, again, brain getting distracted by that open loop. But yeah, so she would speak truth, but nobody would believe her. And I, as a woman living in society, um, and like there have been so many times, like in our political system, I'm like, oh my God, so many freaking Cassandras. Will you just listen to them already? I mean, Kamala was a Cassandra, Hillary was a Cassandra.
Yeah.
So many times they were like saying the truth, and then people were like, baskets of deplorables. What are you talking about? Or, oh, that laugh. I just can't get past it. And I'm like, you are such idiots.
I
They
see
are
what I
speaking
mean.
truth. You have, like, they know so much more than the rooms that they have sat in. They know things that we citizens, you know, plebes on the planet just don't have
Yes.
access. And how can you not see it? And then obviously the way society is like, well, it's obvious that they're not believed because they're Cassandras.
And women.
Yes.
They're in a female body, and we have some grooming and conditioning to not listen to female bodies, as is evident by so much of our behaviors.
Yes. I've started thinking of it as Cassandra in the coal mine. That's an expression I've
Uh,
started using.
that's a good one.
Yes,
Yes.
because they
Like the
are
canary, but
alerting to
Cassandra.
disaster.
Yes.
There is no more oxygen. You need to listen to me now or you will die. And if you don't listen to the Cassandra in the coal mine, you're not going to make it out.
Yeah. I don't know how many times just in my life I have had to say something, and I get the no, but, and then talk around, and somebody will somebody in a different body, in a male body, will repeat exactly the thing that I just said, like verbatim. I'm like, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay,
If
cool.
I had a dime,
Well,
I would have the profit with the F if I had a
yeah,
dime for every time that had happened to me.
yes. Oh my gosh. It got to the point where in certain circles I would simply have a male body, and I would say something, and they would know to then just repeat for me, so that at least it was being said into the space so that everybody could hear it consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And this is not a shade on the male bodies. Like I really this is important for me to name, because I am irritated by male bodies on a regular basis. Like y'all need to emotional intelligence up and learn how to grow. Okay, thank you. And I'm not mad at the person. I really am mad at the body. The body is what is holding those patterns and that grooming and that conditioning from generations and generations and generations of not being held to that expectation. The same way that this body is held to the generation after generation of expectations to step in into so many of those places.
Mhm.
There's no shade or shame on the individual, but boy, do I get mad at those bodies and them patterns.
Yeah. You know, there have been studies on this. As an actor, like I'm all into like how people respond and the impressions that people have about things. And voices. A lower timbre voice is seen as much more authoritative,
Yes.
is much more to be believed. So when I'm creating a character, I'm always looking at like, where am I going to pitch the voice and what's the voice that matches the way this person is received by the other characters in the story.
Yeah.
But also for me, just in life, there are times like when I'm coaching,
Mm-hmm.
when I am coaching, depending on who my client is, I will change my voice and I will change where I place it because I know the reaction is going to be different.
Yes. Yep. Yes. I This is so shady to admit. I'm have a vulnerable moment, everybody. I absolutely use that as a manipulation tool when I was working in the restaurant industry because there are, I'm speaking in generalizations, there are very many gray-haired male bodies on the planet right now and in the last couple of decades where in this body, getting into a higher register and extending your vowels at the end would get them to do just about anything that you wanted them to do because they had been groomed and conditioned to receive that way. And I used that to my advantage. I figured that out and was like, I can I can leverage that.
Yes.
Yes, I
I
have
used
done
to
that.
do a lot of long form improv interactive stories.
Ooh,
And yes, the way that uh, the voice that I chose to use and the response that it would get, so fascinating.
yeah.
So
Yes.
fascinating.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can almost prophetize that that was going to be the reaction you were going to get once you discover that those pathways are in existence. Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazing like how often it was proven true.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And the exception, like, would just like it would light me up when I would meet somebody who was the exception. I'm like, oh my goodness. I am
Hi.
fascinated by you because you are breaking the mold. You are not patterning. And that tells me that
You
you,
have different patterns.
yeah, you come from a different place, like where your instincts and the rest come from. And
Tell me more things.
love
Yes.
that.
Right. I
Yes.
have a question.
Exactly. And I would be like, okay, I almost want to stop the show now because I really want to have a conversation with you as a human being.
Yes.
Um, yeah. Wow, that
Yeah.
takes me back. That takes me back. Holy cow. Yeah, I don't think
Ah,
about doing those shows very often. They were really fun. They were also very manipulative on my part. Um, but uh they were also really annoying. And in part because the men who were actors with me would not um uh like I had to be my own protector as well.
yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, I mean, I thought we were in this together, and yet you see this citizen, this client, this attendee of the event, and you're not intervening in any way.
Yeah. It's amazing to me on a regular basis how much is it entropy? Like the way that the taking, whoa, come on, brain. Taking the step to say something is such a surprisingly big step for so many people. I manage those patterns early in life, so I tend to be a bit on the aggressive. I would say I'm almost middle child level when it comes to feeling the need to say something and call out something that I am seeing. And I do it with first child authority, which is its own level of sass. And I am consistently surprised at how people will watch something happen, know that that is inappropriate, and simply just not say anything about it.
Yeah.
That is not my patterning. I got something to say about it.
Yes. I've become much more so. I haven't always been uh, because of my own childhood and things. It was about peacekeeper. It was about
Mm.
making sure, maintaining the status quo. Let's all just get along. Let's not throw in. There's enough ripples in the pool already. Let's just try to calm the waters if we can.
Yeah.
And so that was my role growing up, and it continued to be my role for a long time until I got to the place where I um, was feeling that tension uh, of how incredibly unfair, and that I could affect change in this,
Mm.
and accepting the consequences of speaking up and potentially affecting change. And that's the other side of it. If you're going to be I'm not saying I'm a prophet, but that's I think one of the mantles that a prophet has to wear is knowing that there is a dark side. Because you look through history, how many prophets there have been who,
Doesn't generally go well.
yeah, I mean, there's a kind of fortitude that you have to possess to speak that kind of truth to power.
Yes.
And that's what I think of as a prophet. I mean, a prophet can, like, it can be like a broader definition of a prophet where it's like anybody who is revolutionary or innovative can,
Yes.
in some ways, be a prophet, because that is disruption too.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs coming in completely upsetting the way things were happening. Bill Gates, same thing.
Yes.
Um, and then you've also got your Betsy Rosses. um, and so many women throughout history whose names we will not know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is sad. But they were prophets too.
Yeah. Speaking truth to those in power, even if, especially when it is disruptive.
Mm-hmm.
I like those folks. That is my folks. If that's you, use my folks. For that.
Okay, so we had another Vicky podcast bombing us again because we forgot what day it was. And so totally on us. But so we're cutting all of that out. So again, this is we know we don't do edits, but we just did an edit. And where we left off was Cara talking about her words. So let's jump back in
Yes.
there
So
if we may.
we as everyone ideally has heard, Kimberly has the Dino the dinosaur cup right there behind her, and that's where all of her words come out of. I am way more freeform than that, and it just depends on what catches my eye in my surroundings that day. And I've been carrying around Khalil Gibran's The Prophet. It's like my little pocket prophet. And that's where that word came from, because me and my son have been sharing different prophet pieces. So I don't know if anybody knows Khalil Gibran's Prophet. It is a fantastic book. It is The prophet is a hermit who's lived above a city for a few decades. observing and watching and collecting information about these folks. And now it's time for him to go home. And as he's leaving, even though the city has pretty much allowed him to be a hermit and not engaged much, as it's time for him to go, they're like, hold on, tell us everything that you've learned and observed. Like, tell us about eating and drinking. Tell us about love. Tell us about marriage. Tell us about children. And and the prophet does. He's like, oh yeah, well, you know, eating and drinking. It, make it a ceremony because even as you have to steal the milk from a mother's child to satisfy your thirst, so shall you be stolen to satisfy the thirst of life and honor that relationship. And it's fabulous. I would that but that's where before Vicky came in, I was jumping over to talk about that's where the word prophet came from today. And go check out the book. I guess is the close to that. It's fantastic. It is. I have lots of papers in it because I have specific things marked at all times, and I go back to them over and over and over and over again.
Now, what section of a bookstore is that book going to be in?
Good question.
Is it self-help? Is it fiction? Is it
Poetry and wouldn't be in self-help, fiction, poetry. Those are that's where I would imagine it would be.
okay?
Yeah.
That's the question I've started asking when they say, "Oh, I'm writing a book." That's my question is always, "Oh, what section will I find it at the bookstore?"
Yeah, where will I find them?
Yes, and that lets me know what they're writing in a way that doesn't make any assumptions about what kind of thing I think they might be writing.
Yes. I'm going to say poetry. Like it is definitely written in poetic form as it'd be in the same place as like everything I needed to learn I learned in kindergarten or the chicken soup for the soul
Okay. Those I
or the
think would be in
secret.
self-help, actually.
Would they be in self-help?
Yeah.
I guess it could be. I don't feel like it's a self-help book though. Although it is sort of a no life and it's same differences experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be.
Yeah. Yeah. I disagree with a lot of ways they categorize things in bookstores. And I wonder, like, is it the publisher that says this is the section it goes in? Or is that something that the bookstore
Bookstore does.
decides for itself? I don't know.
Hmm.
It seems like it's something that a publisher would want a say in.
You would think so, or the author at least.
Yeah.
I'm writing a fiction book. I'm writing I, to be fair, cannot think of sections of bookstore. I have spent a, a lot of my life in bookstores. And I am realizing right now that I did not attach to any of the sections, only books in sections. So I honestly, I am literally in my head right now seeing Powell's in Portland. If you've never been, or if you're a book person, go to Powell's in Portland. It is fantastic. It's 4 or 5 stories, an entire city block bookstore, and they even have a rare book section upstairs that you have to sign in to go in. You get white gloves. You hear that as the door opens because it's pressurized. Yeah, like first print. It's if you like books, get you some Powell's.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
One
Yes.
of my favorite bookstores has got to be the Strand in New York.
Mm.
And it's, oh my gosh, when I was like, I could spend an entire day there.
Yes.
In fact, I've got books here, the few books that I've got here on my shelf, on my mini shelf here, are from there, including the complete folio of Shakespeare, which is this guy
Yum.
right here.
Yum.
Um, yes, the first folio of everything. in one bound, and I found it when I was there, and it has become one of my treasured books.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have lots of like early editions. Nothing, I don't think I have anything from there that was like a rare first edition kind of thing. Um,
Book range.
but yeah, I do have some very prized books from there, and I'm a huge fan of that. But yeah, like, do you write mysteries? Do you write romance? Do you
Yeah.
write like what? It would be the same thing like if there was still a Blockbuster today and somebody was like making movies, I'd be like, oh, what section are you in?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we don't do that anymore.
Not really. I mean, absolutely. And also no.
Mm-hmm.
I can see, that's why I got into Pal. I can see the sign in my
Mm-hmm.
head. Like I can see the stairs that lead up to it and the sign that tells you which level, which section of books is. And I can see the colors and I can see the numbers and I cannot see any of the names. I think there's fiction over here, romance. Boy, and I don't even go into those sections. I just wander the stores until a book catches my eye.
Nice. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I cannot, at least my brain today, that's how I will say that. Today, my brain does not want to pull up any of that information at all. I believe that it is there, and my brain is like, nah, no,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could
When I
be.
go into go ahead.
Go, go, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, when I go into a local used bookstore, um, I do tend to gravitate toward like the same sections, and that's where I
Yes,
start. And one of the awesome things about secondhand books is that it's very random,
yes.
and it's not like I love a library too. Don't get me wrong, I love the
Yeah, and
organization
the
of it.
cards.
Yes, my brain loves like, oh, there's all the little numbers and I can find what I want because all the numbers are in the logical
Thank you,
places.
Dee.
um but like what puts that book next to the one next to it, that's the fun of the randomness of it. But it's
Yes.
easy to find a thing as opposed to a bookstore. If you're looking for a specific book, I will always walk out. I go in looking for one book. It's kind of like it's like going to Trader Joe's or something. I go in for bananas and I walk out with like 2 bags of stuff. I'm like, what happened?
There was a
Or
plan.
Costco is like, no, I have to literally put blinders on. I will have my list, and these are the things I'm not going to walk down any other aisle because I go to the
Doesn't
same
matter.
Costco, so I know where everything is. So I don't have to wander and find, because if I wander and find, I'm going to find
Costco
things.
will Costco
And
you.
suddenly I just went in for a roasted chicken and I walk out with $200 worth of stuff. I'm like, how did that happen? But yes, bookstores are the same way for me.
Yeah.
And because it's in a secondhand shop, because it is so random, I might go in looking for that one specific thing, and I'm going to end up
Yes.
with big stack of books.
Wait, my husband and I, one of the jokes is that, you cannot get out of Costco without spending $200. The one time that we were totally going to get out under that and be like, we broke the bank. We did it. We had to renew our Costco membership that day.
They got
Right.
you.
And bookstores are the same way. We are not allowed to, if we are going to a bookstore together, we have in advance determined the amount of money that we are willing to gift to the bookstore for our enjoyment. Because if we don't, what we've made some life choices
Mm-hmm.
in those spaces on the spur of the moment. Because, but look at it, so cute. We have a
Yeah.
book thing.
Yes.
I know that
Um,
we're not alone in that.
I don't put a dollar amount on it, but I do put like a number of books amount on it.
It has been less stressful now that we're in the tiny space because of that. Like when you have a house, you houses hold a lot more books than a tiny space can hold.
Yes. Yeah. I had a friend who had a wonderful policy. She couldn't bring anything in without sending something away. So she had decided she had enough items in her house. So this obviously didn't apply to like groceries and things like that. But if it books or what, and she was not a big book person. I'm trying to think. I honestly don't think she even had a bookshelf. Oh my gosh. What did we talk about? Holy cow, we were
Right.
friends for so
Whoa.
long. And I'm like, how we never talked about books or like I'm in awe now thinking about it. Um, but yeah, so it would have been so you bring in 10 books, that means you have to get rid of 10 things.
Yes.
And same thing with clothes. Like you buy some clothes, that means some clothes have to go away.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is our expectation in the tiny space. Yes. For that same reason. Although
Mm-hmm.
we have a tiny space in 10 bookshelves.
Nice.
I remember the first time I learned that books in general are actually a sign of privilege, that there are a substantial number of humans on this planet who are not raised with books in their home. That
Mm-hmm.
that is absolutely a point of privilege. And it is a privilege that I will flex. More books. I will gift books so that if you don't have that privilege, I want to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a copy of the Prophet. Read this. You'll enjoy. You're welcome. You're welcome. Have that.
Yes.
You're welcome. Everybody should have books. A house without books is like a home without windows.
Yeah. And I love those. I don't know if these are around your, but here in the neighborhood, there's all of the free neighborhood libraries where somebody will just set up a little like a it looks I mean, they have all different kinds of shapes and stuff, but they kind of look like a giant birdhouse or something, but it has a big door with just a bunch of books inside.
I
Um,
love them.
I love those, and they are here everywhere in
Yeah.
LA, in the
Oh yeah,
valley
we
at
have them
least.
even out here in rural Dexter, Oregon. We have I think two just in the Lost Valley Lane Drive.
Mm-hmm.
It is the greatest. One of my friends goes and that's slow down. His name is Corey May. Corey May does the word of the day. Go check him out. I think he's on Instagram and TikTok and all of those. And Corey May, he's a wonderful speaker, goes to these the things and restocks them. Like that's his whole thing. He just travels around his area and restocks them and then shares cool words and how they can be used. I love people with brains like
Nice.
that. Yeah.
That's
Well, yeah,
very
I love
groovy.
those little books. Okay.
I'm looking. I'm looking at the time.
I am also. So we want to wrap up with. I want to wrap up with, is it just me? Okay, so I know it's not just me, but is it just me? Or are the patterns so patterny that even when you're aware of them, you can also be completely blindsided by them? What I mean with that is leveling up. That's what I mean with that. Have you ever noticed? This movement I attach to this. I love that we're now on camera and people can say that because that used to be confusing. Then I'd have to explain as a flat spiral that turns into a sky spiral. And the words, while accurate, do not portray what I just did. So I'm glad you all can see that. So what it feels like on our level, like in our body, is that we're chasing our tail so often, right? We keep coming to this cycle, like, oh, I processed this already. I processed this already. But in reality, you're kind of climbing that mountain, right? So every time you come back to that space, it's because you've leveled up in that place. And yes, you're reprocessing it again, but you're reprocessing it as a completely different person who has different experiences, knowledge, and skills. And it mirrors how we used to think that the planets would just be like this flat, static spiral in space, but we're actually a rocket shooting, hurtling forward, spiraling behind our sun. And isn't it funny how that fractalness happens? And is it just me? Or even in knowing that, do you get caught in that spiral and then you're back at that same place again going, oh, that's where I'm ending us today. Angst. You're welcome.
I have definitely in my past done that where I would feel like it was I'm here again, I'm here again, I'm here again. I don't really do that anymore.
Good for you.
Um, uh, Life has become a prophet for me and taught me these things. And I listened to it because I knew it wasn't Cassandra and it was
Mm-hmm.
speaking truth
Mm-hmm.
that I should take in.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it when life is the prophet.
That.
Yeah.
And that we get to pay attention and become the own prophets of our own life when we recognize those patterns and have enough good sense to have grace for ourselves in that reality so that we can learn from it and hear the lessons from it rather than pretending like it's not there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and not treating myself like a Cassandra, because I think there have been times in my life where I did, where like I didn't
Yeah.
believe what I was seeing as true. Because I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, that's
Yeah.
not the
I
lesson.
can't
That's
be.
not the,
Yeah.
yeah, prophets.
All right.
Awesome.
So from prophets to profit to prophetizing. There we go. We've covered quite a few topics. It has been another episode of Neurospicy Dialogues. We are so glad you're here. And this reminder ending is recognize the patterns in your own life. If you're here, we know that you have a pattern recognition brain. Hi, we're so glad to see you. And leverage that for your better best. Trust you. You're not broken. You are built by design. Leverage that. I'm Cara Jean.
I am Kimberly, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.